Yeah, we're going.
All right.
We're doing it.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Burger Pun.
Nope.
Nope. Wrong.
Let's try again with the name of the podcast.
Yep.
Here it goes.
Oof. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody, and welcome to Insert Burger Pun. This is T. Shay.
I'm Mike.
And this is a podcast that we love to do about Bob's Burgers.
Mm-hmm.
And today is super special because we are reviewing an episode that we've never seen before. We actually just watched it for the first time. And it's the season premiere of season 10. Woo! We made it to season 10.
It's 10-1 and today's date is 10-1.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But it didn't premiere today. It premiered on what, the 29th?
The 29th, yeah.
So.
But it's still fun. That's cool. I didn't even...
Yeah.
Look at that.
It's pretty exciting.
Happy Halloween, everybody. So the title of this episode is The Ring, and then in parentheses it says, but not scary.
But not scary, right.
Which, I don't know if you've seen The Ring or
Yeah.
The Ring 2. Have you?
Just The Ring, yeah.
Well, I thought it was scary. So.
It's fine. Yeah,
It's refreshing.
It's pretty good.
But yeah, I'm excited that it's back, and we get to do these episodes on Bob's Burgers, episodes that we haven't seen or that are going to be new. We're still going to be doing episodes that are older from the older seasons, of course, but it's cool to have each week something to look forward to, something new.
We'll have some fresh meat
Some new content.
there. Yeah. I mean, we won't say anything about the episode ahead of time. You'll hear our thoughts as we go along, and there are many thoughts, and but anyway, yeah, so we'll do kind of a commentary track for the episode, and you can watch along with us if you want, and then afterwards we'll break a few things down and talk about what's good and what's not so good, and just our thoughts on the episode as a whole.
I know that we said we weren't going to say anything about the episode before, but can I read the little sentence that it says what
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So it says, Bob's plan to surprise Linda for their anniversary gets tricky when the kids become involved.
Wow.
Oh.
That sounds pretty exciting.
So much.
Oh, man.
Okay, so I will count us down and we'll get started on this boogie train.
Okay.
All right, and 3, 2, 1. It's new.
It's brand new. Look at this fresh intro. Sort of looks the same, but
Fromagerie Friends Cheese Shop.
Have those shoes always been hanging from the telephone line?
I think so.
Okay.
I
don't know if I've ever noticed them before. See, okay, so here, when we watched this the first time around, the fact that the second word of the season is gale, I immediately saw as a bad omen. Not that it's a super Gale heavy episode, really, but I was worried for sure that Gale was immediately involved. But oh well. Yeah. And it's also kind of weird. I don't know. Maybe it's just because this is like a very summery episode.
Yeah.
And it's not summery right now. It's October.
Yeah.
And
I think it's neat that you know that they're going to go somewhere because Linda's wearing a dress. Like, they're all
you could tell she's wearing, like,
clothes.
her cover-up thing. Right. They're headed somewhere else. Okay. So here's the catalyst. Here's the story catalyst here. Okay. So Louise finds a wrapped present in the super secret hiding spot. Under the bed. And opens it immediately.
Correct.
Safely. I mean, she doesn't tear anything, but it's still insane to me that you don't just I get that it's Louise, but you don't just there's a wrapped present. You could just leave it. It's not for you.
Well, they think it's for them.
Louise says it's way far away from my birthday. Like, there's no way there would actually be anything here for me. I don't know. That makes me angry a little bit.
Don't have kids.
That's
what they'll do.
Because that's why things go wrong.
Yep.
They open a wrapped present from underneath the bed.
I don't think it goes wrong because they're opening it. I think it's because they are trying it on. Because
Are we like spoiling things? Should we like?
Oh, I mean,
I don't know. I guess
we'll
we
put a
haven't done
disclaimer.
a new episode before. So if this is your
They're
first
watching it
time,
too.
this is your first time watching it. Sorry, we'll kind of maybe hold back on a couple twists and turns. But yeah, I don't know. But it is what gets the story going, and it kind of frustrates me. Okay, what? So Teddy knows everything about Bob's life.
And I think that Bob is kind of like out of pocket, being a little weirded out that Teddy has his anniversary saved in his phone.
Right.
Because Bob makes it very clear in the first episode that
Right.
he's very bad at remembering dates. And so Teddy's being a good friend by putting his anniversary in his phone to be like, hey, and he even says, like, do you need help planning something last minute? Like, how sweet is that?
I guess it's,
Maybe
but
the
it's
rest of the
also
other stuff, like food allergies and medications and things like that. That's a little weird, but I think Teddy was that was a good friend Teddy moment.
here's a theory, because the episode as a whole, and we won't get into specifics, but there are several elements that are callbacks to the pilot or just early Bob's.
Yep.
And my theory is that this is the show team's way of communicating to us that this is going to be the last season of the show.
Huh.
This is my theory. I have nothing to back this up. It's just that thematically, they're like this is as close as they've gotten to like wrapping things up a little bit, you know, or like returning to those really early ideas and stuff. I don't know, but I and who knows? Maybe I kind of hope I'm wrong too. But you know, it would be a subtle way to like introduce that, and because what if they did that with every episode of the new season? Like, oh, now we're gonna wrap up Tammy once and for all.
Oh no!
Or like,
I would be really sad.
I don't know, Mr. Fron gets a big last episode or something.
Yeah, I mean, what's it? I don't know. Don't put that out there for now.
No.
But yeah, so Gene has a ring stuck on his chubby little finger as
right.
they go to Wetty Set Go.
Yeah.
The water park.
That's right.
It's kind of like our Hurricane Harbor.
I don't remember any of the names of the water parks that I went to.
We had Raging Waters and then Hurricane Harbor's over here.
I feel like there's that one in Ohio that was like a weird. It was like something with a K. It was a weird foreign name. What was that all about? When did I stop going to water parks? Probably like 13.
Oh no.
12, 13.
I think the last time I went to a water park was with one of my best friends actually, and she took me as like a bring your friend for free day.
Okay.
And it was so much fun. I had a great time. We were in the Lazy River.
We have to be there with so many people.
Yes.
There's so many people there, and they're too much time with people. Too close to people.
You sound like the most extroverted person on this planet.
That picture of pizza looks good in the background. Look at that picture of pizza. Yum. That sounds great.
What?
Nothing. This is great. Okay, look, it's that lady.
Yes, it's
Nat.
Nat.
It's that
I recognized her
lady.
immediately. I was very happy to see Nat.
I didn't. Yeah, I did
wearing her
not.
signature color pink and her water shoes.
I didn't recognize her because I never watched that episode
What?
ever. Yeah.
We'll talk about that one hopefully soon.
Yeah, but tell them the name of that episode because I don't remember the name of that
V
one.
for Vendetta.
That's the name of the episode?
V for Vendetta.
Okay, it's something like that. Yeah.
But Nat is just, I like to describe her, I think she's going to be our side character showcase for this episode, of course.
Right,
but
probably.
She's a Swiss Army knife of a character where she has connections everywhere.
I
she
guess.
can do anything.
Have you seen that movie,
questions asked.
Swiss Army Man?
No.
I haven't, but I need to watch it. It's on Netflix now.
It's cool.
It's supposedly like really, really good and fun, and yeah, I want to check it out. It's weird, but it's not Michael. It's what's his face? What's his name? Harry Potter. What's his?
Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah, I don't like him that much as an actor outside of the Harry Potter stuff.
Aww.
I saw the movie Horns. Remember Horns?
Yes.
I thought that was awful. I thought his American accent was really bad, and
I mean, they
the movie was bad. Oh, who's British? Oh. We've already seen Lobster Linda, by the way. So that's like another weird callback. The episode where they get shanghaied on the ship. So it's
True.
like doesn't have as much impact. It's like whatever, she got burned again. And also,
Yeah.
didn't she just use sunscreen? Why is she so horribly burned?
Did she use sunscreen?
She has to. Is she crazy? Does she want skin cancer?
She wants to be bronzed.
So put on some bronzer. Is that a thing, right? Bronzer?
Yes. Maybe that's what she put on if you saw her doing that.
But she's oh well.
But the conflict has occurred. Gene makes it back to the car, and his finger...
Flash news update. The ring has been lost, everybody.
Has been lost.
The plot is happening in this episode.
Conflict before, like, commercial number 1.
And Gene has a tan line now, which is
baby tan
sort of
line.
fun. Do people sometimes get tattoos instead of rings?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
We know somebody who has a tattoo instead of a ring.
We do?
Yeah.
Who?
You literally texted me about this guy the other day.
Really?
Yeah.
I was actually going to text him today and say, like, hey, I think I saw you at a concert. Even
You
though we
should.
haven't texted for, like,
You should.
a year and a half.
People, if you ever
I don't
think,
think he-
if you're
I
ever
don't think he
thinking
likes
about
me that
texting
much.
somebody or contacting somebody because you're thinking about them, do it.
That's not good advice.
Why?
Because
Whatever.
it could be a very bad
Unless
situation.
it's your ex.
See, that's one of the situations. I think Fantano also has like a marriage tattoo. I think so. I'll have to double check on that. Anyway, the episode's happening, and
Yeah.
the kids are dealing with the fact that they're awful, that they're
Yes.
just the worst here.
They're doing it under the guise of helping Tina with her diarrhea, which no one questions, and they think it's really sweet.
Right.
Which is adorable. Tina she's Tina the truth teller, where she just can't physically, like, it hurts her to lie, or it makes her super uncomfortable.
Right.
So it's eating her up inside that they have this secret that they basically, how much was the ring? 300?
329?
$29.
349 maybe? We'll talk about that. I have something to say about that joke later on. We'll get to a new section later. But you know what? They were in the bathroom there. You know, I just watched a thing, a fun video that told me the fun fact that Psycho, which we were also just talking about, was supposedly the first movie to ever show a toilet.
Flushing.
Just a toilet.
I thought it was toilet flushing.
I don't know.
Huh.
I heard it just a toilet, but who knows? Either way.
Okay, so I need
Groundbreaking.
to talk about Nat again wearing her signature color pink.
Right.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Eating like cheese balls with her giant what kind of lizard is that called again?
It's not a Komodo. Is that a kind
A
of
monitor lizard? Is
dragon?
that what they're
Komodo dragon? Maybe I don't know.
called? With a sword, a samurai sword behind her.
Right, little katana back there.
And she
Maybe
just
a katana.
hyper goes through their entire situation and says, I can fix it in 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think, classic Nat.
Looks like a sad apartment.
It is. Gail's apartment's sad. I'm
Gail's
sure
apartment
that
is
calendar...
also sad.
Oh, no. Nat's apartment looks dope.
It looked really sad. She's on a gray couch. Look, even Gail has a couch with color in it.
But it was white when she bought it.
Nah.
So Gail is flailing around like Stuart from Mad TV.
Oh, God.
And she has pink eye, and Linda's trying to do eye drops in there.
Can we talk about the time where you showed me videos of Stuart from Mad TV?
No.
Oh, good God. I felt like I was watching, like... I shouldn't say what I felt like I was watching, but it seemed like... Okay. Bob finds out Bob is angry. Bob shows emotion in this episode, which is kind of good. They kind of like change his facial expressions a couple times, which I don't think they do a whole lot. There's a part way at the end where he looks very, very sad. It's great. I think I'll remember it and I can point it out, but oh boy. Something different. Some dynamic range from Bob here.
Yeah, I think he's actually really upset here, and it tells them, you guys can't talk to me, and you guys aren't my kids right now.
Right.
Which I think is an accurate, parents, when they get upset, there's only so much they can do in terms of expressing their anger.
Sure.
And I think Bob made a good choice of just being like, hey, you guys can't talk to me right now.
Yeah. I need my space.
I need my time.
My space to be angry.
And they
here.
test him right here. They're like, can we talk now? And he quickly says, nope.
That's right.
I'm still mad.
That's right. Yeah, that's fair.
I need to do that more often. When I notice that with somebody, I'm just like, hey, I'm not going to talk to you for 10 minutes, and then we'll be good.
Does Nat own The limo? Why
Yes.
does she have access to it?
Because it's her limo.
She owns the limo?
Yes.
Was that explained in the other episode?
I don't know.
Oh.
I'm assuming though because she's not.
It was just some lore that was fleshed out in a fan novel, right?
I'm sure she has this limo and a boat. I picture her having a boat of some sort for some reason.
Maybe a dinghy, I guess. Is there Bob's Burgers fan fiction?
Of course, probably.
You should look into that.
Maybe.
We should read some. That'd be fun.
That would be fun.
That would be fun.
We'd probably have to get permission from the...
Maybe.
Maybe. We'll like passages or something.
Yeah, it's promoting their work, right?
Sure.
It's helpful. Yeah.
So this is Nat's friend who works at the water park who was up and willing to go back to the park to let them in.
And also, all these people were willing as well.
Yes.
And they took
the Puff Divers.
They took a bus that they own.
Yeah.
Everybody's
Why are you like so?
These things.
questioning
These
people
kinds of
owning their own
vehicles are
vehicle?
very expensive.
So what?
I just don't get the
All
impression
these
that
people
they.
seem rich if they can spend their free
I
time
don't-
going scuba diving while high.
I don't know if that's. That seems dangerous too, a little bit.
That's why they do it in groups.
Seems a little bit dangerous.
That's why Nat had to get clean.
If you like notice somebody and they've just been floating there too long, they're either asleep or can you sleep while scuba diving?
I don't know.
Ooh, I want to know now.
We'll Google it on the break.
That could maybe be like a very good nap. I guess you get turned over though. That wouldn't be good. Oh, look at that painting. That painting's a callback.
Yep, got the anus.
Wow. Lots
so
of
everyone
Easter
is
eggs.
looking and going through the lazy river. Bob is in his underwear with scuba gear, and the scuba team is going for it. And I think this is great. This is some teamwork. You mentioned though, and I think it's a really good point.
What?
Why didn't they start with the filters?
Yeah, just look at they have covers on them. You pick them up and it shows you what's in there, right? Which Bob messes up later in the episode too. He just reaches. It's crazy. It's crazy. What were those pool noodles called?
Pool noodles.
Like, what was the brand name of the pool noodle that everybody had?
Oh, dude.
Was it like Fun Noodle or something?
Fun Noodle?
What were they called?
Fun Noodles.
Somebody call in and tell us what those noodles were called. Everybody had those.
Yeah, call us in.
I need to look for that.
So, Gail is making Linda run up and down the streets of the apartment, trying to give these eye drops. My theory that I thought of when I saw this is like, if my sister was doing this to me, I would just put some like Z-Quil or NyQuil in her drink and wait for her to, collapse.
So drug her, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Against her will. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Well, I did think it was sort of interesting because this is the part where Linda's just like, "Oh, I'm gonna make you drink so that we can do this,"
I know.
which is a little. I mean, I guess
Well,
they're
I
family,
think-
but like,
Yeah.
Good Lord.
I think it's kind of her wanting wine for herself,
okay,
but then also being like, let's have, making it Gail seem like it's her idea. Like, oh yeah, you need a drink to calm down when she just wants a drink. Linda wants her wine. That's
gotcha.
fine.
They were called Fun Noodles.
Look at you.
What a bad name! Oh man, wow.
Oh no, I love. Okay, so Bob got his arm stuck in the filter because he's smart and put his arm in there.
Right.
And Nat
Silly.
so heroically is like, hang on, Mr. B, and
Right.
dives into the water, but the water is up to maybe their waist.
Sure.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. I'm worried that Bob's underwear would be kind of like
See-through?
sheer at
Yep.
this point.
Yep.
Yeah, that would not be great.
I mean, it depends on who you ask, I guess.
Does he not have a swimsuit?
Well, he didn't know he was going until they were at the door.
Remind me to show you this thing. It's really cool. I'll look at it later.
So Bob is giving up. He's over it. He's like, we can't find this ring. I guess I'll just be a failure again.
Yeah, he accepts it pretty easily, I guess.
Well, I mean, if I'm being honest, like, I probably am on his side. Like, if you go to a water park, if you go anywhere where there's a bunch of people, especially in water,
Yeah.
the likelihood that you're going to find it is so slim that even looking for it for a long time could just be depressing, where you're like, I'm spending so much time looking for it. I really hope I find it, but I know that there's an 80% chance that I'm not going to.
Yeah, I would probably not go. I would probably call them and be like, hey, do you have a lost and found? Like, I lost
But
a ring.
they wouldn't have looked.
Okay. I don't know. The guy who ran, well, that's later, but they seem nice there. They seem like nice people running Ready, Set, Go.
Yeah. Well,
okay, this scene is happening now.
Yes.
With Gail.
Yep, she's tricking her into getting her eye prepared for eye dropped.
Yeah. I don't know about
Gail
that.
screaming murder in a store.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. She's wearing a shower curtain yelling murder.
Uh-oh.
All
Linda
the
got
kids
back.
Are gone. And her
Everybody's
husband.
gone. What if Linda just assumed that like her family left her
Oh no, that's so sad.
the night before her anniversary?
Yeah, right. Linda knows that they need her.
Oh
they
gosh.
found something in the drain.
But you know what? When they show it in the drain, they show that ring is like gold.
Yeah.
So they tricked us. They lied to us as the viewers.
Well, maybe it was the O in ooh la la, because the keychain says ooh la la.
But that's not the part they hook. They hook the
That's true.
the ring thing. Ah, gosh.
We'll write a letter.
Oh gosh, we could probably just drive over. They're pretty close, right? Yeah, we'll just say hi.
So the owner of the water park, Eddie Weddy.
Yes.
Of Weddy Set Go.
Yeah.
I guess
he's
lives
pretty good.
there?
I guess. Yeah,
Does
they
he
didn't.
live there?
They just show. He just wandered. They didn't show like a house or anything. He just kind of wandered onto the macadam there. Yeah. Okay. Wow. This is kind of already the end of the episode, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
The conflict has not been resolved yet, but it is. We are on the falling action, I would say.
The conflict is never resolved, right?
Yes, it is.
Kind of. Sort of, kind of. Okay, all right. Bob is explaining things.
Yes, I feel like at some point we should have a count for how many times Bob's monologues occur in his underwear.
I feel like not that many times, right?
I can think of at least two.
What are they?
The Weekend in Morts.
Okay.
When he does that.
Right.
And then another one.
Okay. Right. Yeah, we'll look into that. We could cover that ground. Well, he's not. Yeah, he's not wearing any underwear in that one. Yeah, technically. Oh, look, Linda showed up. She figured it out.
Yep.
I guess. How did she figure this out? Did she explain?
She reads Tina's diary.
Oh, right. Okay.
Which I think is really cute that Tina's so detailed. And
right.
When did she have the time? When did she have the time to write in her diary? I'm always inspired to keep up with my journal every time there's a reference to her journal.
Right.
But I don't have the time.
Sure.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Oh boy.
We finally learned Nat's last name. It's Kinkle.
Kinkle.
But it sounds like what?
Nat King Cole.
Who is?
He's a musician man. Remember the Christmas album?
I have that Christmas album still.
But of course, plenty of people had some criticisms about his sort of style and involvement with the mainline music industry, didn't they?
Oh, yeah, probably.
Yeah, he kind of got called a few names, didn't he?
So this is strange.
It is.
Kind of just was Linda saying, I'm cool without the ring. I love you anyway. And then the owner of the water park is like, all right, guys, let's turn on all the slides and like have fun in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
For free.
Which would be fine except for the pink eye now in the water.
Yeah, Gail jumped in first with her pink eye, and that's gross.
Not so great.
And then they zoom out, and it shows that the ring, or the lazy river is in the shape of a ring with a little tiny diamond on it. And it's super cute. And then we see what actually happened to the ring, and it was a bird
A bird took it.
To take it home to his ladybird, or whatever.
Ladybird. Did you ever see Ladybird?
Nope.
I didn't see it. I've heard it's pretty good.
And the birds have their nests atop Bob's Burgers building.
Have we seen that sign though from the side? Like, is it like a neon side? Is that new?
Yeah.
We'll have to do a little bit of research.
So what were you saying about this part? So this is the ending.
And so at least as far, I think they 3D modeled all the characters here because usually when you're doing rotation in traditional animation, it's really tough. So even though they're doing everything on computers anyway, like Futurama is a good example. When they go around that main building in Futurama, like it's very clearly digitally modeled and looks kind of bad and doesn't fit. They do that in his new show too, The Disenchanted. They do that a lot. It looks kind of like early 2000s trash. The episode's over now.
Yeah, it is.
And
do you think it would be hard to do that ending portion like with the old animation style that they had?
Well, with a lot of television animation, the whole thing is to make it as cheap as possible.
Yeah.
And most of it's getting outsourced to South Korea anyway.
Anyway.
So like it's just done as quickly as possible, cheaply as possible. So it's just I'm sure it's saving a bunch of time and money to make a quick 3D model of each character on their inner tube. But yeah, no, well that's the thing. In season 1, yeah, that was probably on computers too, and they were doing it in computer animation programs. But there was a lot of care and style put into each character, and like weird floppy motions and stuff, and more of a voice. But that gets taken out of every show. That gets taken. We've talked about that before, I guess, right? But anyway, the episode's over, and I guess you got a little bit of an idea of what we thought of it. But we'll talk even more soon.
We're gonna take a break, and then when we come back, we're gonna talk some more about the episode and talk about what we liked, what we didn't like, things like that. Maybe answer some questions, and yeah. So take a breather. Listen to it. Listen to one of our ads.
Right.
They're lovely.
Oh, here it goes. Oh gosh. Oh yeah. And then, oh yeah, it has the effects too, doesn't it? Yeah. Oh, check this out. Got some filter effects there. Some echo things going on. It's great.
Wow, that's a jam. There's some drums in there.
Yeah, let's see. Do we have them? Oh, they're offbeat.
Yeah.
Gotta sync them up.
All right. What DJ is this? Okay. What stage are we at? All right. So let's talk about Nat's character, whom we love so much. I love her the way that Louise loves her. I think that she's just.
So are you saying this is High Character Showcase? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Great.
Going off the cuff.
Do. Here it is. We're talking about Nat.
We are going to talk about Nat. I really enjoy her character. I'm glad that they brought her back for the premiere.
Right.
Out of all the adult characters who interact with the kids and like more with the kids than the adults, I think that Nat really is up there in my favorite character. She's fun.
Okay.
She always has the solution. She doesn't judge at all because she probably
would be judged herself.
Yeah.
For things. Yeah, right.
I do hope. I don't know much. We don't know too much about her, and all we really know are those little side clips that she mentions here and there. I'm glad that we got a little glimpse into her apartment. You said it was a sad apartment.
It looked like a sad apartment.
Respectfully disagree.
Okay. It's a gray couch, white walls.
Yeah, and her giant lizard.
And a big lizard and a katana. Yeah.
So Nat is voiced by Jillian Bell.
Jillian Bell, right.
Whom we know from 22 Jump Street.
Right.
And she is Rough Night. That would be Rough Night.
Sorry.
Like Scarlett Johansson. Yeah.
Nah.
What
Is that the prequel to Girls Night? No? Is that a prequel to Girls Trip?
Nope.
Is that a prequel to what's another movie with Saturday Night Fever?
It is yes, it is.
Oh.
Just kidding.
I watched that one time. It's so bad. It's really bad. Oh, God. It's very bad.
What else was Jillian Bell in? Office Christmas Party. That was a fun one.
God.
A lot going on.
You saw that?
I've seen parts of it. It's a good movie. She's funny. I think she made 22 Jump Street for me. I love her character in that movie. I think she's a fun comedian. You think she's one note.
In this episode, her delivery is nothing. She does nothing, and maybe we can blame storyboard artist director man for not giving direction because she just reads words, and then she got paid and left. I guess she has inflection once during the part where you laughed, where she saves Bob. She kind of like gets louder for that part.
She also spanks herself and says like, "Giddy up, girl."
Yeah. Well, she didn't make. I'm sure she didn't make the spanking sound.
Well, she spanked herself
in the studio. some intern took care of that.
Kinky.
But I don't like Nat at all. And I said this earlier. Right? I never watched that limo episode. I hate it. It's pandering.
How do you hate it if you didn't even
It's
watch
like
it?
pandering to, a culture of like supposed empowerment and stuff, but it's not genuine. Like it's a very large company using this story thread to to sell people on the show. Like I didn't believe any of it. I thought it was very poorly written and boring.
Everybody, when
and
we
not
get to that
funny.
episode,
It's a comedy show.
It's funny.
And it was not funny.
You're a hater.
Yeah, I hate that one a lot, and I don't like Nat. And here she is again, but she'll probably never be back again, which is fine.
You don't know.
It's just fine, you know. They don't have any more use for her.
Yeah, well, I mean, she's a Swiss Army knife. She could be used for anything. This whole episode wouldn't have been able to happen without Nat.
If she like moved into the basement and we learned more about her, that would be kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But as far as I know, she doesn't have any real character development, so she's just a lady.
I want to learn more about her. Why is she in this town? Why is she she seems like she would be much better use in a bigger town, like thriving and succeeding. I don't know. I feel like she could succeed.
She can live wherever she wants.
Exactly.
She's doing fine, right?
Yes.
She's apparently owns the limo. I'm still a little hazy on that one.
Well, maybe she's just borrowed it from work.
Yeah. I also like to think, ooh, here's the love story of the century. She's going to get together with Teddy.
I was thinking that as well.
Even though they're
way
maybe
better
trying
than
to signal something else there. But no, here's why. And here's what they're going to bond over. Because in the limo, she's like, hey, Bob, do you like classical music? And she just starts making sounds of kind of classical music.
She does.
And I'm thinking she did this because her radio doesn't work in the limo, which reminds me of when Teddy is in his truck. And he's singing, and he's like, I wish my radio worked.
Aww.
Remember that? So neither of them have working radios.
So
they're gonna, they'll be in a car together, carpooling for something, and they'll like start singing the same song, but really well, and like harmonizing and stuff.
Well, I hope you realize that in order for that to happen, Nat has to come back.
But that's what I'm saying. It's fine if she comes back and does something and is a character. That's A-okay. Yeah. But like, if she's just a plot device to make things happen more easily, that's not quite as
100%
interesting.
Plot device this episode. Because it was one of those where I'm like, I don't even know what I would do if I was in this situation, because
who do you call?
Your kids. Who do you call? You're just screwed. It's over.
By the way, have you heard about that new Ghostbusters movie?
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
Oh, with whom?
Paul Rudd and other people.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Bill Murray again, because they got him under a contract. But the guy who's directing it is something Reitman, who directed Up in the Air and Juno and like other good movies, right? And he's also the son of Ivan Reitman, who directed the original Ghostbusters movie.
Oh my god!
So it might actually be kind of good.
You think they're gonna let Melissa McCarthy in?
No. maybe a cameo at most for the lady crew there, but I'm more interested in it than Paul Feig's thing, so we'll see. It's just another remake though, so whatever.
Okay.
Well, is that enough for Nat? Do we have other things to say about Nat?
I mean,
she's there. She's
there.
She helped out.
Yeah.
She helped out.
She
did her job.
She saved the day.
Well, she didn't find the ring. They accomplished nothing by going to the water park, right?
Well,
they kind of wasted some time and a lot of other people's time. Did they have fun?
I don't think
Bob enjoyed any of that.
I don't think that the puff divers were doing anything else other than smoking. So
puff divers sounds like something I shouldn't be saying, you know?
Oh.
It sounds like some kind of slur.
Oh. You damn dirty puff divers. There was a quote that I really liked that Tina said that was so quick that I missed it the first time, or it's easy to miss.
Right.
But when the kids decide to like separate and do their own thing, Tina's like, I need to do a speedo check. I thought that was really funny.
A speedy speedo check.
Yes.
She should have said that.
Oh.
Bring me in to punch up the script.
I mean, let the writers know. I can do it better.
Who writes that? We should look into who writes on the show at some point.
We should start with Mario.
Nobody ever looks up the writers. Who's the only television writer I know is Megan Gans. You know her?
Sure.
She wrote on Community for a long time, and she used to write for The Onion before that.
Even better. Which
is still going on. I was on it the other day. I was like, they're still doing it. You know, they're having fun. They're hanging out. She's great though. Yeah, she's very good. Anyway, okay. What's it? Oh, that was a good line. Okay. What is the other thing? Burger or fries? Want to do that?
Yeah,
Let's do that.
Okay, so the burger of the day was,
Yeah.
I have to look at it, otherwise I'm going to say it wrong.
Yeah, it's pretty belabored.
It is the all of me, why not take all of me burger.
Right.
I'm assuming it comes with olives and has a bunch of olives on it.
Yeah, but that doesn't seem very creative. For maybe he like diced them up real small and he put them into the ground meat, so
Maybe.
it's like engaged there, like the Hemingway burgers with the capers. Remember that? Yeah, I don't know. I don't like olives.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of olives.
They also tend to be pretty salty, I think, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
you
so
can't have that.
I don't think I want that.
It says that it's a reference to the jazz standard All of Me.
I like how you said standard. The jazz standard. No, it's good. It was very refined.
Whatever.
So it's kind of a mini reference referee too, because we didn't know that song at all.
Yeah.
We still haven't listened to it. It's a very old song. From like the Tin Pan Alley days, remember?
What's
Do you know about Tin Pan Alley?
Tin Pan Alley?
Tin Pan Alley was a specific street in New York. So back in the 20s and 30s, where songwriters and performers were very separated, right? Like someone wrote the music and then someone else performed the music, right? For the most part. So like George Gershwin era, kind of. I guess that was later in his career. But anyway, apparently there was this one street where like all of the musicians were there, just like working music or songwriters rather, just banging away on their bad pianos to try to come up with new songs. So it sounded like crazy somebody hitting pans and stuff. It was loud all the time.
I would hate to live there, but I bet the rent was cheap.
And even the Beatles did a song on the White Album that's kind of a reference to Tin Pan Alley era stuff, and Honey Pie, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a
good
good
old
one.
Honey Pie.
I love that song. Is that what it's called? There's a different pie song on the album.
Sweet potato pie.
No, thank you.
I was close.
Yeah.
You don't like sweet potato pie?
Nah.
Okay. That's fair.
And I only like sweet potato fries if they're like the right amount of salty.
Okay.
Rock salt, like big rock salt, that could be good.
All right.
But if it's just the sweet potato, no thank you. Can you make fries out of yam? Are yams the same thing as sweet potatoes? Have I been making that mistake for a long time?
I think pretty much they are.
Are they the same? They might be exactly the same.
Yeah. I've made my own sweet potato fries. That was fun.
Right. Remember that book that was talking about yams as the manly crop? Remember that one?
No.
You didn't read that one in school?
Yams, no.
No. It was Things Fall Apart, the Chinua Achebe book.
Oh.
That's about like
That
colonialization
sounds
in Africa.
like a book that I was assigned, but I
yeah,
didn't read.
yeah, it's pretty good.
That's totally.
Yeah, it's taken that line is taken from who wrote that poem? Was that a Baudelaire poem? No, it wasn't. Things fall apart, the center cannot hold. Remember that?
What?
It's Laugh Track.
I like this segment. I think it was really clever. So
Yeah, but it also like takes a lot of thought. You really have to like concentrate on.
and you have to watch me apparently.
Yeah, so I don't. We'll see if it comes back or not. But I did keep track of how many times each of us laughed during the episode, but specifically laughed at the show, because what I discovered was that we laughed more and louder at our own jokes than anything in the show. So that's sort of a different thing. Laugh track, that's what I'm doing. Okay, so the total number of times collectively that we laughed during the episode in any amount is 11.
Oh.
11 times.
Okay.
Do you want to guess who laughed how many times?
I probably laughed 5 times.
Okay.
Or 6 times.
And then I laughed the other 5 or 6 times, so pretty much the same.
Yes.
Okay.
Or I laughed more. Did I laugh more?
You laughed 9 times.
Oh.
At things, especially the Nat saving Bob parts.
That was funny.
That was, you laughed. That was the loudest laugh, I think. That was the most. I laughed twice during the episode. I remember the first one. The first one is when he said how much the ring cost, and Bobby and Teddy was like, "Oh man, like whoa, $330."
Yeah.
And then the payment plan. I was like, "Oh, that's great. That's very good." But here's the thing. That was my loudest laugh. Your loudest laugh was the saving thing. And both of us, those laughs were tied to relatable elements.
Yes.
Because for me, I was like, oh, yeah, terrible payment plan for a thing. And your relatable was like, oh yeah, I used to do stuff like that in the pool.
Oh yeah, me and my sister.
And dives like that, doves. But yeah, no, we definitely laughed more just talking about other things or during commercial breaks. So it's not necessarily a critique of the episode, but I don't know if, because wouldn't it be neat if we could really chart out the number of laughs
Oh my
for like
gosh.
every episode,
Yeah,
you know?
laughs
But
per
of course, other ones we're seeing for the millionth time, so I don't know if it would be the same, but
What is that?
who knows?
LPE, laughs per episode.
Sure, the LPE rate, the LPE number. Put together some cool infographics. But yeah, who knows? Maybe we'll keep that up. That could be kind of neat. I guess it could go through the audio too, but that would be annoying. So yeah, fine. Maybe we can track along at least with the new season, like which ones are really the most side-splittingest ones.
Yes.
That we really liked a whole lot. But so far, I think this is pretty representative of how I felt about the episode, which is, it was fine. It was fine. It felt like late season Bob's Burgers before the fall. Is it the first episode of the last season? Maybe. Can't wait to see if I'm right about that. Probably won't know until starting next year.
Yeah.
Because that's when they say whether it's renewed or not, right?
Yeah. They gotta have some more episodes come out first.
Yeah, see
I
how
like
those.
this one though because it was relatable in the sense it was the classic ring got stuck on finger, ring got lost situation. Right.
But on the finger of a child.
But on the finger of a chubby
for some
child.
reason, yeah.
I wonder how small Linda's fingers are.
I think the viewership numbers are like around 300,000 for Bob's for live viewership. I think I looked this up at some point, and generally, even for the more recent seasons, it's like 300,000,
Declining.
which is higher than any of the new Simpsons stuff, obviously.
Yeah.
And I forget where Family Guy is. I think Family Guy still does kind of okay. They have some kind of audience.
Still there.
But it's really not. Yeah, it's really not that bad for like network shows now. Obviously, if this was like the 90s, that would be very, very, very bad. What's that line? Remember the line from BoJack with Herb Kazaz? And he's like, as long as the numbers don't dip beneath a dismal 50 million a night, we're fine, and the show will stay on the air. It's like, oh wow, entertainment was different. People really watched some TV back then.
What else would they do?
In the 80s. Well, they had a few other things to do back then, didn't they?
Cocaine.
Sure. Why not? Okay, I mean, that's fine for that. What was there another one that we have? Another thing to talk about?
I just had a reference to the fact that they got a ring stuck on their finger because I had a very similar situation when I was a child. It wasn't an engagement ring. It wasn't anything of specific value.
Right.
But I do know the panic of getting a ring stuck on your finger. I think probably more girls than guys probably go through this, but when you're, especially at a ring store, you're trying something on and you don't want them to think you're stealing it, but then if you have any inkling of it not coming off your finger, you start to panic and it's crazy.
Right.
But when I was younger, I got one of those finger handcuffs from like a 50-cent
Chinese finger trap.
No, they're little tiny handcuffs. Like they look like handcuffs, but they're for your fingers.
Okay.
And I was like, you know what? I'm going to put this on my thumb, and I put it around my thumb, and it was one of those things where you have to close it in order for it to open.
Right, kind of push it in.
Yeah, push it in
to
for it to
release.
release.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't push. It wasn't releasing because my thumb was too thick.
Right.
And every time you tried to close it more, it would just make it tighter.
Oh, yeah.
And, of course, I don't want to panic, so I call in my sister. And my sister's like, I got this. We can do this.
Right.
And we put water on it, soap, lotion, oil, and
Butter,
all of it. We did everything.
Olive oil. I thought when you said all of it, it sounded like olive oil.
All of the oil. All of the butter. And my fingers started turning the colors, and the skin was raw from us just trying to take it off.
Right.
We ended up having to go to the hospital, and my finger was My finger was blue, and they had to use a ring cutter to get it off.
Ring cutter. Ooh.
Yeah, which exists.
Yeah.
Which it hurt even more because they had to go under the ring.
Oh,
and the
yeah.
doctor was like, if you had waited any longer, then it would have been a different story.
Right.
So, and we didn't tell our mom for a very, very long time, which was one of the reasons why the doctor was kind of upset.
Right.
So I understand those kids, they can't just tell their parents that they get their fingers stuck, or they got their fingers stuck with a ring on it. Like, you can't do that.
It would have been like that one guy from Star Trek. Remember?
Yep.
No, the actor who played Scotty in the original series, he was a soldier, and he was missing a finger on one of his hands. They don't really address it. Just kind of missing a finger.
Speaking of missing fingers, if you want to go there, Power Rangers, the original Black Ranger, Zach, he had a missing finger. I think it was a genetic thing. And it just, it's his, I think it's this ring finger?
Ring finger.
Something like that, where he just has 4 fingers.
Right.
And it...
Yeah.
A lot of people who watched the original Power Rangers didn't even know it's not a plot point in the show.
Right.
It's not something that...
Well, what about his gloves? Did they cut a finger off of his gloves?
No,
they
they
just
don't.
left it on. Oh, so that's why then.
Yeah.
Everybody just remembered the suit. He has all the fingers in the suit.
That's
well,
true,
no, I was gonna...
You see when he does the morpher, because they all have to put the morpher in front of them with their hands over it, you can see that if you're looking, you're like, oh.
Right.
Huh. I'm excited for this new season. I think I don't know how long it's been since the season 9 was out, but I think I've just been watching...
Since it started? A year.
Really?
Well, yeah, it's fall. It's prime time.
Well, and then because all I've been doing is just rewatching episodes that I like, and
not the latest stuff, right?
Not even. I feel like I've watched maybe season 9 a couple times.
Yeah, not very much.
Just focusing on seasons 5 and earlier.
Right.
The most, and so it's cool to see where we're at now. The animation style is different. The way that they operate is different. It's for some, it's different bad. It's for another opinions, different good. I think it's just different.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't think it's good or bad. It makes me eager to find out what they're gonna do with the rest of the season. If they're already they already brought back Nat, and does that mean that they're gonna have a different? I don't think they're gonna be introducing anybody new. Or at least I hope they don't.
Well, if we stick with my theory,
yeah, then they wouldn't.
Then they would, they're just gonna return to old characters.
Oh, you know who I really hope they bring back? Oh,
who's that?
We should do predictions for this season.
Okay, sure.
We can end on that. I really hope that they bring back Jessica from Slumber Party episode. That would be very nice.
Bland-born Jessica.
Yes.
Yeah.
If she was a book, she'd be 2 books.
Right.
Who else? I'd like to see a little bit more of Mickey. Maybe see what he's up to.
Maybe Mickey can get married or something. Have a wedding episode.
That would be cute. I want to see some more Marshmallow.
We also don't get a lot of. I think the voice for Marshmallow is also Mr. Frond and the other guy.
Nice.
And Randy, but. Who's the one? Oh, I was gonna say we don't get a lot of Tammy anymore, and I think it's just because Jenny Slate's a big deal now. Yeah. Oh, but okay. Well, this can go into predictions, I guess, sort of. But I was realizing the other day, and maybe I had realized this at some other point in the past, but almost the entire main cast are all stand-up comedians. Mm-hmm. H. John has done some stand-up stuff. Obviously, Kristen Shaw has been doing stand-up for a really long time. John Roberts kind of did, I guess. He did more performance, online videos, whatever, But yeah, Dan Mintz, Tina, longtime stand-up guy, Eugene Merman, obviously, has done a bunch of stand-up through the years, even though I don't like it that much. And who else? Oh, Andy Kindler, who plays Mort. He's a crazy stand-up guy. I don't think the guy who plays Teddy I don't think he does stand-up stuff. Bill Hader, briefly, right, before he got so big. Yeah. And won Emmys.
Wait, isn't Mickey? Wait.
Mickey's Bill Hader.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then he probably won't come back.
But obviously a lot of the guests too. Aparna Nancherla, of course, was on, and I know that's how a lot of comedy shows cast. Anyways, they're just oh, here's a stand-up who has a decent following. We'll put him in a show. Mm-hmm. Kyle Kinane was one of the bikers. Nicole Byer. Yeah, we could probably go through every season, but I don't know. They definitely do it more than other shows, and I like that, especially because they tend to pick people who are very talented and good and funny. even if they don't get to say super funny things on the show.
Well, Jessica's a comedian too, or like
who's she?
Catherine Hahn.
Not Catherine Hahn.
Catherine Hahn.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
She's great. No, I wish she was in lots of stuff.
Yeah.
Have they had Catherine O'Hara at all? That would be a good pick.
Oh, man.
Ooh, that would be great.
Well,
Adam Scott. Yeah, who are the guest stars going to be? Just rattle off some names. Who are the hot new people?
I don't. You know names.
Oh, what's his face? Kristen Shaw's good buddy, Hot Tub. Kurt Braunohler.
Oh yeah.
He plays what's his face, the child that she hates. You know exactly who I'm talking about.
Who hates?
That Louise hates.
Oh, Millie? That's
No, the son.
Oh, Logan.
Yeah, he plays Logan.
Aw.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So that's another one.
That's cute. Aw,
But no,
that makes
it's
that dynamic.
yeah, I
even
know,
better.
right? I bet they have a lot of fun with it.
Wait, okay. So, what are your plot?
Plot guesses?
Yes.
I mean,
Or, like, hopes.
they're obviously reaching. I mean, they do a couple like trendy ones each year. That's like, here's something that was popular a year ago,
Sure.
like the essential oils episode. It's like, oh, guys.
Well, at least for me, in terms of like character development, I hope that Tina, either like Tina and Jimmy
Gets
Jr.
a fucking boyfriend.
I
Maybe.
mean, yeah, I hope that she either is with Jimmy Jr. or gets over Jimmy Jr. Like.
Sure,
For sure.
once and for all.
Once and for all,
yeah,
moves on.
that's fine.
Because I'm kind of he sucks.
Yeah, and it's not especially fun to see them like not get along.
Yeah,
it's not super great. Oh, you know what? Because they had the New Zealand man who's played by that guy who's on Play of the Conchords.
Mm-hmm.
They might have like Jermaine Clement on from Play of the Conchords. That'd be fun. That would be a neat character. He doesn't even have to be like some New Zealand kid. He could just be like a guy in town.
I can picture
That'd
him
be
being
neat.
like some sort of guru who moves into town and like challenges
Runs a
Gyro
yoga
or
studio
Gyro,
or something. Yeah.
and they kind of battle it up.
Right. Okay.
Brazil versus
Okay.
him.
Yeah, but like he's doing some cultural appropriation, so like he's just a white dude, but he's super into martial arts, and like, okay, sure, that works.
You hear that, Fox?
That's another Disney Fox.
Disney Fox.
I
I want to see some more. I want more Tina and Jean interaction.
Okay. Yeah.
That would be fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
That's
don't really
fine.
spend as much time together.
Do any of them really spend time one-on-one, you know? Like, even
guess.
they tried to do a Louise Jean thing in a couple seasons ago, right?
It was cute. I
Large
liked
Brother
that. I
or
liked that.
Fartow.
That was one of my that was one of my favorite episodes
That was okay, yeah.
of that season.
But other plots, yeah, we need to do some brainstorming. This isn't going to happen ever, but in terms of like behind the scenes, to bring in collaborators and directors and stuff, if they brought in Lord and Miller, that would be fucking
That's
great.
So specific.
Well, I was just watching a thing with them yesterday, but obviously they're animation dudes, you know, and they've specifically comedy animation stuff. They've worked with Bill Hader before. They've been fired by Disney before.
Who hasn't?
Why not? Why not just jump in? Well, I think they have an overall deal with Sony now for like 5 years, so they probably won't. But that would be so much fun.
You know what else would be fun?
What's that?
If they did another episode that was like Brunch Squatch with all the different animators.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, or like pandering fan involvement, all you know, in whatever way. I guess they don't really do crossover episodes anymore, do they? That's kind of an old thing.
Yeah.
Because I was wondering what show, like The Simpsons and Family Guy did one, but there's no way they would do like a crossover with one of those shows, or there really aren't many other Rick and Morty. I don't know. I don't think it would happen. No, I don't know. They'll.
I want more Gail, Mr. Frond relationship development.
Have they ever gone on vacation?
No, because they're poor.
That's what The Simpsons started to do when they ran out of ideas. They're like, we're going to fill in the blank.
Well, we also have to know. We also have to note that the Bob's Burgers movie is going on too.
Really? Is that in production right now?
Yep, it's in the works.
I need to check the IMDb page real quick. Is it just called Bob's Burgers Movie? Untitled Project? Something?
A Bob's Burgers movie. I don't know.
Bob's Burgers the movie,
it's supposed to
2020.
premiere 2020, yeah.
I mean, that's also another sign that the show's maybe wrapping up.
I know.
6 seasons in a movie kind of a thing, you know? So what do we got? We got cast. There's no director listed. Not much of anything. Aspect ratio is listed. Okay. And it's going to be PG-13, which is strange because why does it have a rating already unless it's like done? Okay. Well,
it's good.
it says it's in pre-production. That's crazy. Yeah. Then it shouldn't have a rating at all. I guess they just looked at the show and said, "Oh, well, that's it's not PG material."
Say damn a couple times.
Huh. Okay. Well, oh boy, we maybe have to do like a whole episode on that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Totally.
I mean, when it comes out, but also just in anticipation. Yeah, we need to figure that out. Yeah. Okay. Well, that changes everything, doesn't it? When the Fire Nation attacks.
Have you even watched that show?
I watched it when it came out a little bit. I didn't watch Korra.
Oh no!
A couple of my roommates were big into Korra in college because it was
it's good because she actually she was raised knowing that she's the Avatar, being able to be trained on all these different bending styles, and in addition to there are like more bending styles that were created during Aang's reign, like Mendel bending and blood bending. Like I don't think that was invented with him, but like it's like they talk about it. And then there's lava bending.
Oh,
so neat. Okay. Electricity stuff.
Oh man.
So if you
starting to sound like Pokemon.
I mean, sure.
But yeah, no, I think part of the reason it had so much success is that it's like there's more of this now, but it's like American anime essentially.
Sure.
Kind of like Steven Universe, where it's like anime elements and story beats and stuff, but
you got a bisexual lead
in a much more accessible Western style. Okay.
But hey, that's our Legend of Korra podcast.
Oh, that's going somewhere else. Yeah, I'll move that around. But okay. Well, do we have any more predictions? I guess maybe we can.
Maybe Louise will take off her hat.
Oh.
Either in the
that sounds
movie.
Almost like a, you know what that sounds like? That sounds like something that would happen in like a Hey Arnold style movie, right? Where they're like, oh, we have all these big questions. We're going to sort of give you answers to all these things.
I hope that we get half answers. If your theory is correct, I hope that they take a second.
They would super obscure that. Yeah. They'll do like a shot from behind her head, super up close. We sort of see her start to take off the hat. Mm-hmm. It's a sign of trust with some other character or something. And then she puts it right back on. Or like the origins of the hat. So like Austin Powers style, they obscure what her hair and head actually looks like until she has the hat on. And then it's like, oh, she looks like the normal character now.
Also, how old is Jean? 12? I think?
Sure. Well, Tina just turned like 12 or 13 in season 1. They haven't really aged, so he's got to be like 10, 11 maybe.
Yeah, maybe
something 11. Like that, a little bit younger. Yeah.
Anyway, I think maybe so. Jean had that relationship with Courtney and has a good friendship with whatever his name is. What's his name?
Alex.
Alex. Yes.
Alex.
Would it be too much to ask, or would it be too obscure for Jean to kiss a boy? Or like think about kissing a boy, and then that conversation can occur with Bob. And then like Linda would be, of course, like, yeah, my baby, it's so good. But then we get to see a more softer side of Bob, where he also is going to be like approving and super chill about it in a nonchalant Bob way.
But I don't think it would be dismissive. I think it would be very dramatic and blown up, and so that clickbait articles could be written about it. To fuel the hype machine. Mm-hmm. You know, they'll talk about it at Comic-Con, so that everybody does the advertising for them. And I don't know. I don't get the impression that that's what they'd be planning. Because here's the thing. What if the movie is like an all grown up kind of angle, right?
And they're like them 11?
No, they'll do a time jump of like 10 years, you know, and like the restaurant's shutting down because they don't have any money.
No.
And Louise is like, I don't know, just getting into college or something, and empty nest stuff is going on. There's no way they're gonna. That'd be fun, but there's no way that's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be the same old stuff, isn't it? But there has to be a big thing threatening the whole town. That has to be the plot, right? Something with Mr. Fishoder somehow. I guess that's a High Arnold thing too, right? Because that movie was about like real estate development, right?
Big Bob's Beepers coming to town.
And that's maybe a little bit aged now. Yeah. That's a little bit dated. That's kind of like a Spielberg-y thing.
Maybe
but
it's something where Mr. Fishoder loses the town in a bet.
What's the most central theme to Bob's Burgers? It might just be like family life and how weird and, strange it is, but also kind of good. So if it has to be about that, too much. There's a lot of avenues there. There's a lot of stuff.
I can see that a movie being based off something like I was saying, like something as simple as Mr. Fishoder like losing Bob's building in a bet or something like that, where Mr. Fishoder is no longer their landlord,
right?
And maybe like the rent goes up and they have to find more money, or like do some sort of like block party, or like everyone band together. I don't know, like band together to, save the restaurant. Like,
this all sounds like Hey Arnold, doesn't it? As soon as you said block party, I was like, this sounds like a Hey Arnold episode. Yeah, no, it's great. Oh, okay. Yeah. Maybe maybe Jimmy Pesto's goes out of business first, and it's sort of like a warning shot for the Belcher family and Bob's Burgers. Yeah, wow, maybe Teddy dies.
It's funny that you even mentioned death, because that was something I was also
no one's gonna
about.
die.
I was like, well, if anybody were to, maybe like one of Linda's parents, or like, like Al dies. He's not too important.
I just don't see how that would contribute to like a fun movie about Bob's Burgers.
True.
Anyway, but gosh, there's
that was fun.
a lot of avenues they could take.
I think that this is cool, and we should definitely do some more predictions as the season progresses, because it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
The next episode is called Boys Just Want to Have Fungus, is the name of the next episode that's going to come out.
Gotcha.
And the plot says, let me read the sentence before we go.
Right.
Unable to afford a rare gourmet mushroom for a burger of the day, Bob and Jean jump into a cutthroat world of mushroom foraging. Meanwhile, Tina's powerful new prescription glasses lead her to believe that she has a superpower. That'll be cute.
Okay. All right.
That'll be cute, I guess.
Yeah, that could be neat.
All right. And one more thing I have to mention is I like the callback to Linda always saying, "Stay out of my room" before she leaves.
Gotcha.
That's something that I noticed, and I just remembered just now. And I think that'll be a fun way to end. Like, I'm going to say, "Stay out of my room" now.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for joining us for this episode. Again, this is Insert Burger Pun. If you guys have any suggestions or predictions for this upcoming season, or things that you'd like to see in this upcoming season or the upcoming movie, email us at insertburgerpun at gmail.com.
Right.
Subscribe to our channel on YouTube.
Sure.
And just tell your friends about us, because we're new. We're a little baby fetus podcast, and we have fun doing this, and I really like it.
Yeah.
Stay out of my room.
Is that the catchphrase?
That's what I'm going to say when I leave. Like, all right, guys. Stay out of my room.